Welcome back to Map Making in Disney World, where I make a TTRPG battle map from within Disney Orlando. Today's map is Rise of the Resistance from within Hollywood Studios. I'll be using Inkarnate for this build, with music by Tabletop Audio. You can find links to this map in the description below. There's one with a grid and one without. Let's begin. This ride came to Hollywood Studios after it was created in Disneyland, so finding a layout of this one in particular is very difficult. I managed to piece together some maps and traced an outline. I also needed specific images throughout, so I used Photoshop a lot to alter assets. Now this ride includes a second floor, so I laid out the bottom right square of this map for that. Now let's drop the rest of our ships, including the X-Wing. Our first big tackle will be the First Order loading dock. First I'll drop my centerpiece, which is the Stormtrooper formation, and then I'll lay out the black tile flooring. I'll be showing you clips from a ride POV by CoasterForce on YouTube. I'll make sure to put their link in the description so you can watch their entire video. Go give them a like, go give them a subscribe, they're great. I also got a lot of great cyber assets online, and I'll post those links in the description if you want to make a Space Wars style map for your games. Now whenever you look into outer space on this ride, I decided to make them 2D to show you what is being seen. Luckily the design of the building already has enough space to accomplish this. I tried my best to copy this room exactly. However, some buttons are very tiny, so I scaled down the teeny tiny details and just focused on the larger bits to get the main idea across. I used metal bolts to construct a turntable for the ride's 3-ship simulator. By laying light down underneath all of my asset layers, I get this really cool ground lighting. Now for the interrogation rooms, I built a little balcony of metal, dropped my characters, and went ahead and finished my floor tiles. Then I went back and built out the walls. Also, when I go along and build things, I can delete my layout lines. I don't need them anymore. I built the red balcony with red saturated metal pipes. Here's a section where I use Photoshop to create that long, deep shaft effect. When you get noticed by the stormtroopers, they fire lasers at you. So I'll use the path tool to make vibrant red laser shots, and then use some smoke on those machines around to show that they've been hit, because everyone knows stormtroopers are terrible shots. As your ride vehicle moves into another room, you're confronted by more stormtroopers. These are all projections within the ride, but I decided to make them 3D so you can see the scene. Now this room is amazing. It includes 2 massive AT-ATs, and the room is very lit, so I'll drop a lot of light. To the right of this room is the ride vehicle maintenance. I chose not to include it because this map didn't have enough space. You can just describe it to your players in your game. And the elevators that take you to the second floor, which is the bottom square of this map. And since we're going to see this room twice on the map, I will copy all of the assets and drag them down. The maps aren't exactly the same shape, so I do have to adjust. Now for this control room, I have about 3 control panel assets I'll use, and I'll stack them on top of one another. And then I'll create a large window looking out into space. Suddenly, you go backwards and are confronted by Kylo Ren, so I'll make 2 corners for each vehicle to see you with. This Kylo asset is a Darth Vader with a cloaked fighter head, and I drew Kylo's mask over that. My favorite part of the ride, where you travel under laser turrets, engaging into the battle of rebel ships versus First Order ships. So first our windows, and then I'll paint the outside wall. For the escape pods, I used the negative space to paint the picture of what you see out the window. I used Photoshop and cut a sky with clouds, and then covered those edges with walls. I then copy and paste those assets to the bottom. No need to double work. Making a map with specific Disney characters is hard. I found what I needed through a day of searching and editing, but as we go along and make more Disney rides, this is going to be difficult. I might have to make my own assets from scratch moving forward. Finally, we land back into the ride exit. As natural light floods into this hangar, it creates large shadows in the corners. For the queue line, I'll start with the main threshold and then start laying down rock wall that will guide our line until we go into the Rocky Mountain. Since this entire ride is encased in a rock mountain, I'm going to put rocks over top of some parts of the ride to create the illusion that it's underneath. Now let's give that natural element to this rebel base. I'll lay down 3 styles of plant life to fill in the wooded area, and then I'll go back and paint dirt underneath all of that. There we go. And then let's paint the sidewalk. Now inside the queue line, you're in the rebel base, and guests will discover a hologram of Rey and a little BB-8. So let's lay them down and then make this room dark and give it that blue hologram glow. There we go. Now let's add some ropes and poles to help our guest go through the queue, including floodlights and holographical displays. Now I'll finish up the outside area with a few more lights and bushes outside. Make sure we have our rope down in our buildings. And we are complete. Rise of the Resistance. The queue line with outside park area, inside Rebel Base, and hologram room. The outside hangar and ship simulation. The First Order loading dock. The prisoner hallways. Interrogation rooms and ride vehicles, confrontation with stormtroopers, AT-ATs, the control room, cannon fire, Kylo Ren, escape pods both in space and in the clouds, and the ride exit. If you've enjoyed watching this map being made, consider hitting that like and subscribe button for more map making content. Thanks so much for watching. I hope to see you next time. Later.